All right. Hello, salam, namaste, and late afternoon to people who have joined us. Thank you so much for taking out the time to attend our webinar. Since people are kind of joining in, so we'll wait for like 3-4 minutes, and then we'll start the webinar. Just wanted to share some house rules for the audience. This webinar is being recorded and will be shared in the Teams chat after the session. As far as the audio and video for the audience is concerned, it is kind of disabled. Please share your questions in the chat, and we'll try to address as many possible during the Q&A session and follow up on any unanswered ones via email. A short survey will be sent to you in the chat session, so please feel free to share your feedback, as your feedback helps us improve and tailor future sessions. So yeah, so let's just wait for 2 to 3 minutes more, and then we can start. All right. I see a lot of people have joined the webinar, so we'll just wait for a minute and so, and then we can start. All right, so we're gonna start the webinar. Thank you so much for people who have joined the webinar. I'm going to, just give me a second. Yeah. All right. So today we have with us John Reed. He is General Manager for Manufacturing and Mobility for the Asia region. He has over 20 years of experience as he helps enterprises modernize systems, unify data, and scale AI-driven innovation across complex environments. The other speaker that we have is Christine Johansson, Chief Technology Officer from Annata, and he also brings 20 plus years of experience in building and scaling enterprise solutions for automotive and mobility with deep expertise in Microsoft Dynamics 365. In terms of the agenda, we'll start with a brief company overview, followed by a fireside chat with John on AI, mobility, and industry transformation. We'll then cover the Microsoft ecosystem, AI strategy, investment priorities around the A365 platform, and a few live AI demos that will be done by Christine. And finally, we'll wrap up with whatever the questions that you'll have for us to answer. So before we kind of dive into the session, I would like to give a quick overview of who we are at Confiz, now proudly part of Systems Limited now. We are now a global systems integrated firm focused on AI-driven transformation across data, digital, and cloud. Today, we operate across 16 different countries within the delivery hubs by having delivery hubs spanning Pakistan, UAE, Egypt, Costa Rica, Mexico, India, Malaysia, and US, enabling us to support customers globally with both local as well as international presence with scalable delivery. As part of systems, we also bring the scale and maturity of nearly 50-year-old organization with employees spanning over 9,000 plus globally, serving 300 plus active clients across North America, Europe, MEA, APAC, and the TAM. We've also been recognized by Forbes Asia and ISC, and we have been a inner circle partner winner for 2020 for the last five consecutive years. In terms of our focus, it's not just implementing technology; it's helping organizations unlock measurable business value through connected platforms, unified data, and AI-ready operations. So in terms of now, let's move on to our fireside chat with Microsoft, with John. We will explore how the automotive industry is kind of evolving in the age of AI. We'll discuss Microsoft industry strategy, the role of connected platform, partner ecosystem, and how organizations are kind of inventing in AI to drive business outcomes. The focus areas that we're going to talk about with John, so it's around the future of automotive and mobility. We'll cover the Microsoft industry strategy and how innovation is being delivered through specialized partners like Annata and us. Secondly, the Microsoft platform and its role as a foundation for connected end-to-end transformation. Thirdly, we'll cover the importance of the partner ecosystem in bringing scale, industry expertise, as well as faster time to value. And finally, how organizations are kind of approaching AI strategy and investment to drive measurable business outcome. So, John, tell me, how is Microsoft evolving its approach to support automotive and dealers in a rapidly changing environment?
Thanks. I really appreciate that question to lead off. So, at a summary level, we're seeing rapid change at the moment in many ways. Some of those have to do with technologies. A lot of that has to do with process and people, as well as macroeconomic and geopolitical issues. We address these needs in the market across manufacturing as well as mobility segments by thinking about industry requirements first and then working with partners. So if I were to draw this on a timeline, let's say 10 years ago, we were focused on a combination of move to the cloud as well as digital transformation across many areas. And you see four kind of examples on the screen. One around innovation, product development, reducing time to market for new product innovation, evolution in manufacturing and production processes, transformation in supply chain, as well as in customer experience, sales, marketing, and after sales, as well as the business models around those. Over the last 3 years, we've seen a significant acceleration in those areas driven by AI. At the same time, we've also seen many of our customers address not only technical change at an accelerated rate, but also the change in process of the business, as well as culture and people. So at a fundamental level, it's kind of AI-powered transformation, starting with a move to the cloud, digital transformation, and now accelerated in the era of AI. And in order to address these needs, as you know, Microsoft doesn't create a product lifecycle management solution or an MES solution for factories. We don't create DMS solutions for dealers. We don't run end-to-end supply chain as packaged solutions. And so we work with partners to kind of complete the value chain necessary to use our cloud assets with our partners' intellectual property and their expertise to help our customers together drive faster time to value, reduced implementation risk, and a higher pace of innovation overall, particularly now that we think about powering business process transformation with the power of autonomy with agents.
All right, and in terms of what differentiates the Microsoft platform in enabling end-to-end industry transformation.
As we think about the trends that I mentioned earlier, one of the things that we've focused on as Microsoft is providing capabilities to enable digital transformation, AI-powered transformation across the enterprise. And the way that we would describe that in one way is sort of democratized. And what I mean by that is that there are some transformational efforts that require a significant amount of technical innovation, building new agents, that address specialized business capabilities, maybe new algorithms, and sort of sit right at the frontier of new opportunities in a particular industry. At the same time, if we look at the other end of the scale, there are a wide set of opportunities for businesses to transform right at the end user level. So providing capabilities, for example, for the accounting manager in a dealership, or the service manager, or somebody working in the parts department, to think about creating agents that service particular business requirements and use their observations about business process combined with integration with the system, as well as secure access to data and the underlying workflows to allow that sort of democratized broad access to AI technologies. And so when we think about what's really important in enabling end-to-end transformation in the era of AI, it's really a combination of different tools and capabilities that run the scale of complexity in the type of work that needs to be done, the type of technologies that need to be used, but really give everybody the power to build AI solutions in the context of their particular role. And from an organization standpoint, to govern that in a secure fashion. And so we draw those capabilities through things like our Azure cloud with data and AI and security services. With Dynamics 365, I mean, one of the, I think, most powerful parts of our ability to support customers and partners together is that we're innovating with AI right in business processes with Dynamics across all business capabilities, which really surfaces not only in the way that we create innovation, but the way that we partner together with companies like the two of yours to bring together not only business application innovation, but really tuning that and building the IP necessary to transform the customers that we share. Of course, there's Microsoft 365 Copilot, which really is, in our words, the UI for artificial intelligence. And so when I mentioned earlier the sort of democratized approach, making AI available for innovation for everyone in the enterprise across models and across different workloads, it's really Copilot and M365 that does that. And of course, Power Platform, which underpins many of our low-code automation, as well as business dashboard and other innovation capabilities, which also are highly democratized. So at a fundamental level, it's that tooling integrated together across a range of different complexities, providing AI capabilities and innovation for everybody, unifying a data foundation underneath that, and then having all of those services not only integrated, but having built-in security and compliance and governance, so you can transform the business to the direction that you want to land it at a time and with a level of innovation that you feel comfortable with the partners that can lead the business process transformation in the era of AI.
All right, that's great. And how do kind of partners enable Microsoft to deliver at industry depth?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, if we thought about those four core areas of transformation, product innovation, production systems, supply chain and operations, as well as customer experience or sales, marketing, and after sales. In all of those areas, Microsoft has tremendous platform capabilities across Azure, Dynamics, M365, and not only at sort of the capability, but also kind of the integration and security levels as well. But at the same time, if I looked at running operations inside of the dealership, whether it's the sales floor, or the service department, field service operations, accounting, integration for other service capabilities, as well as, say, mobility applications. Those are areas where our partners build the services that complete the value chain and the functional capabilities for our customers. So really, our partner ecosystem drives deep specialization, not only in the software that's built on top of our platform, but also the expertise and knowledge about the process and people transformation that has to happen in that business. And so in that environment, as Microsoft, we have a tendency to think about two different partner types. One are ISVs, or companies that build and package industry intellectual property to create a vertical solution, like Annata, for example. And then systems integrators who integrate, build some of their own IP, customize, configure, and implement with our customers, like your firm. And so that co-innovation model between Microsoft, key partners, and our customers working together to address these transformation needs are really the foundation of our strategy. And when we look at the ability to scale across areas of the business from factory and production and supply chain and customer experience, but also the verticals that we serve, discrete process manufacturing, car companies, high-tech firms, et cetera. It's really that combination of co-innovation with customer and partners that allows us to drive scalable industry solutions across the business.
All right. And, in terms of, everybody knows that, it's AI apparently it's not a standalone initiative. How should customers think about, Microsoft AI investments in practical business terms?
Yeah, I would, for Microsoft, and I think this is one of the key learnings that we've had together, between the three of our companies here in the webinar, is that we begin with what the business requirements are. So we're starting to see over the last couple of years very practical business benefits that are happening in all of the four areas that I mentioned before: innovation, production systems, supply chain, customer experience. And so, on one hand, we have the opportunity to work together to create a vision to re-engineer the business and to think about what the future looks like 12 months, 24 months, longer into the future. We can create flexibility in the technologies that allow us to adapt as we learn more, because it's difficult to forecast 2 to 3 years in the future sometimes, let alone 5. But in the context of partnerships with the right relationships and technologies, you can be flexible as industries adapt. But that long-term vision is critical. But the other piece of the puzzle is delivering new capabilities to the business in practical steps. So we think about projects as weeks and months, not months and years. We think about building with the critical partners that understand your business. And then we think about interoperating with systems you already have, and then thinking about not just the technology, but the process and the people transformation that have to come together to really capture the value and to create the competitive differentiation, whether it's in your products and services or your back-end production systems that really drive transformation. So we can do that across all parts of business workflow, all areas of the business. And that's really where we bring together the power of the Microsoft stack: Dynamics, Azure, M365 Copilot. And with that, then we can drive substantive productivity gains, new areas of the business, and really kind of create that AI-powered enterprise that enables better real-time decision-making, a kind of digital thread across the enterprise, and at the same time, deliver all of that in a secure way with a high degree of observability in the AI solutions, as well as making it secure and reliable for all users in the enterprise to have remote access to these business services and to build applications and business models together with our customers that really transform their business. So in the end, it's really the AI is an accelerator for business change, but we work in really practical steps to enable that long-term vision.
All right. Thank you so much once again, John, for the valuable insights and for sharing how Microsoft continues to invest in helping organizations innovate, modernize, and drive long-term success. Okay, so now let's see how this translates to actual business scenarios for automotive dealers, groups, as well as importers. For that, I would like to introduce Christine Johansson, Chief Technology Officer at Annata. So Christine, you have been kind of living and breathing AI for the past few years, working closely with Microsoft, Microsoft's engineering groups to understand the innovations around AI, and also meeting customers in automotive space as your team develops AI agents to help them. So what do you have us for today?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, so I'm Christian Johansson, and I'm the CTO of Annata. Annata is a company that was founded 25 years ago, and I have to say that I'm extremely proud of what the my colleagues at Annata have achieved in the last 25 years. Microsoft does not maybe need an introduction. Everybody knows what Microsoft does, but we are a tiny little company headquartered out of Iceland with little over 300 people. But our vision is clear. We are creating software and platforms for the automotive trucks and buses and the heavy equipment industry. And we have success in the market for the last 20 years. Our only technology partner is Microsoft. So we have been working with Microsoft since the company was founded. And luckily, since 2016, we have been cloud first with our platform. We actually have solutions that are able to support importers and distributors of vehicles. We can also support dealer groups and the dealers, as well as service centers and rental companies. Our company is operated all around the planet, but essentially we have 3 development centers that are continuously innovating the software that we bring to the market. So since 2016, we have been cloud-based, and we have more or less unified in one platform the traditional CRM and ERP capabilities with the DMS capabilities. So somebody should think of A365, which is the name of our solution, as the business application or the business solution that dealers and dealer groups need to operate their business. Some of the stuff is built by Microsoft, but some of the stuff is built by Annata. And it is extremely scalable and proven in the market. So we are very lucky that Microsoft is at the forefront of with their platform. So we built on top of Dynamics 365, both Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, which is the ERP platform, and then Dynamics Sales and Dynamics Service for the CRM capabilities. And we have recently started to explore and include AI in our products, and I will actually do a demo later. So think of A365 as the platform to operate your business, and what we are focusing on is then either the vehicle itself and the downstream life cycle of the vehicle. And then we have the satellite different modules and functionality to cater for parts, warranty, rental, service, the used vehicles and trade-ins, the distribution and the logistics, as well as quality and sustainability. The solution itself is structured in a way that Microsoft is doing the heavy lifting for the horizontal bits. When I say horizontal, I mean all the functionality that is not necessarily industry specific. Microsoft is delivering the general ledger and the tax module and the bank module, as well as the account receivable and payable. But Annata takes these horizontal capabilities and builds the vertical industry specific capabilities on top. In some modules, we are doing the heavy lifting, and in other modules, Microsoft is doing most of the work. The platform is not free, but it is open source, which means that all our partners, the system integrators that are most of the time implementing Dynamics 365 with A365, they are able to extend and customize the system. The customizations that are carried out are done in such a way that they will not prevent upgradability. So the continuous innovation from both Microsoft and the continuous innovation from Annata is going to be delivered directly to you as the customer. But you have the ability to build your own secret sauce and all the capabilities that make your business unique. The platform itself is actually extremely solid, and we are extremely proud of what we have built. We have one Dynamics platform with A365 with no data silos at all. And the quality of data is so high that AI can easily reason over the data model, the business logic, and the business processes. Before we go into the actual demos, because I'm going to show you 3 or 4 scenarios where we can maybe use AI to either automate business processes or increase efficiency, I'm going to share with you the 7 principles of the A365 AI Journey Charter that was put in place by the Chief Product Officer of Annata, the person that is ultimately responsible for A365. So the 7 principles are put in place just to keep us on track, that we need to build AI on rock. It has to be on a solid foundation, that we have to be responsible and make sure that we are working in a safe environment, and that we are also building AI capabilities that are business process aware. Again, data quality and integrity is superpower when it comes to driving, for example, the agents. And we have to make sure that we are empowering our customers, empowering all of you when it comes to onboarding something new like AI. Very recently, Microsoft made a major milestone when they released a preview for the model context protocol for both Dynamics 365 Financial Operations and Dataverse. Dynamics 365 Financial Operations is responsible for finance and operations, and Dataverse is the platform, is the common data service that is used to run all the CRM and Power Platform capabilities. But the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, is essentially a tool that allows us to expose data, for example, tables and records. We can operate on data, but still honoring the security model of the platform, as well as all the business logic and the business rules. And MCP by itself has simplified and reduced the amount of effort that Annata as a company needs to invest in. Luckily, and I forgot to mention that earlier, is that one of the reasons why Annata is so ready for AI is the fact that we have paid off our technical debt over the years. So for example, like I said, in 2016, we moved to the cloud without any data silos and such. And every single year, we are paying off our technical debt. And I'm so thankful for the team to do that continuously, because that means that we don't have any legacy that is keeping us down or slowing us down. What I would like to do now is to, before we start the recording, Umar, could you maybe just pause the recording a little bit? I'm gonna show you 4 examples. And they were recorded because live demos are dangerous. I will do 1 live demo. But the moral of the story is that first you will see an agent that was built using Copilot Studio on top of A365. And the first agent is an agent that is supposed to highlight to employees service appointments that are upcoming, that might have some kind of a customer related problem, in a sense that the customer might not be happy. Number 2 is a demo where we are gonna actually chat directly with the parts and inventory management system. Then I'm gonna show you how we are going to automatically trigger an agent when an email is received asking for a certain thing. And then I'm gonna show you a little bit of generative AI. If you feel that the examples are maybe not realistic for your business, fear not. We just had to reuse some of the stuff that we already created. But think of AI and agents that sky is the limit, more or less. And before I go to the demos, what we are developing is already available. This is not something that is coming 1 month from now or half a year from now or 2 years from now. This is already available and this is already in use by our customers. So we are extremely happy and we are extremely proud. So roll the tape, please. What you see here is out of 48 upcoming appointments in the next 48 hours, there are 4 appointments that the agent has highlighted as a risk. In this case, he is giving the user a list of these appointments, and the user selects one. In this case, there is an appointment that is scheduled for the 5th of May, but the agent notifies that the parts required to carry out the repair are going to be back-ordered. And the agent also notices that the mechanic that was assigned to this service appointment does only cover 50% of the skill required to carry out the repair. So the agent itself is able to draw some kind of a conclusion and recommending that the appointment will be moved back by 2 days, some data changed in the DMS system, and also warning, the agent is warning the user what the result is if he is going to actually not move the appointment. Essentially, the part is not there, so there is no need to have the vehicle in the workshop. So if the service advisor agrees with the agent, he will just confirm the recommendation. The agent will connect to the DMS system and update the related fields. Let's just wait for this to complete, and then we're gonna switch to the DMS system and actually see that the appointment has been moved back. And fair enough. Okay, so for this one, this is a little bit different. This is in the context of Copilot Cowork, which is currently in preview. And this did not require any development at all. So the user is asking Copilot to retrieve a list of parts that have safety stock using all part numbers that start with GP. What the Copilot will do, it will go into the inventory management module within financial operations, and it will try to find all products that start with the part number GP and fetch the safety stock. As you can see, the Copilot is saying that there are already set safety levels on 2 parts, and using chat, the user can actually ask Copilot to update the safety stock levels for GP 003 and 004 to 50. What happens here is that the Copilot is using a mix of the MCP server and also the UI without showing the UI, and Copilot Cowork is honoring the security model of the person actually doing this. So now it's done. It has updated the safety stock level of 2 parts, and the user asked for an email confirmation that should be coming over soon. allowing us to continue our work. And the reason why we took this example is that updating the stock level, safety stock level for parts is something that our users don't do that often. So they might even not remember exactly where this is located in the system, but they just used chat instead to set the stock level for a given product to a given quantity. The next one is an incoming email to our rental division asking or describing that the next week they need some rental equipment. The arrival of the email triggered a agent that actually created a rental quotation in our rental system, which is part of the DMS system. And using the context from the email is able to derive, first of all, the customer from the email address, knowing the contact person that sent the email. It knows the word next week means 11th of May to 7th of May. It also stated in the email that this was 1 week, so that is 1 week. It also said in the email that this was supposed to happen in Seattle, so that is derived correctly. The system then realizes that this customer has some kind of a rental agreement in place, a general rental agreement in place about how to charge for rental equipment. And the agent is able to also then calculate the right price. To help the user, the agent also, or the employee in the rental division, the agent is also then explaining to the rental clerk why it suggested this, and it derived all this from the email. It also shows a checklist of all the checks that the agent went through, and this allows then the rental clerk to either reject this or approve. In this case, the rental clerk is happy with what the agent recommended. The agent will also then generate a customer-facing email telling the customer exactly, here's your original inquiry, here is your rental quotation, and some reason why these particular rental items were recommended. You can see that it's summarizing the request from the email. And this could have been a demo doing exactly the same for parts orders or even vehicle orders. And this is just how the back office looks like with a rental quotation already created. So this is the UI of our finance and operations DMS system. The last demo is actually something that I'm gonna do live, not pre-recorded. So we wanted to use this opportunity to show you how our customers have started to create user experiences both for their employees and their customers using generative AI and actually generative UX or UI. So what we did is that we put in a prompt into both V0 from a company called Vessel and another company called Replit, where we asked the AI to create a website that would allow customers to book a service appointment for their vehicle. This is a relatively traditional process that most of you might be familiar with, either in your work or in your personal life as a car owner. But the prompt says that the website should consume the Annata A365 Open API, which is a fully documented API for example, service booking. And the prompt also describes the flow, that the booking flow is that the user should first set the workshop, then be presented with service offerings. At that workshop, he should be able to select any of the offerings, go to the next step where he's presented with booking options. And then he goes on and selects the date and time where he would like to drop off his car. And then he just hits some kind of a button and reviews what he has selected. And then the appointment is going to be created in the DMS system. So let me quickly share my screen. So this is what Replit came up with. This is what V0 came up with. And essentially, I'm just going to go select here the Berlin service workshop. I'm going to select here or look at the different service offerings. I'm just going to select brake service. If I, for example, select, let's say, minor scratch repair, it is highlighting that I need to upload some photos. If I book oil change, then I have to enter mileage. I'm going to go for the brake service and compression test. Hit next. It's presenting now the booking option. Could be a free of charge shuttle service. And then I need to enter an address because we need to plan the shuttle. Or I can ask for a courtesy vehicle that is free of charge. I'm then presented with the time slots. And hopefully this will work. Here we go. So I'm going to pick this Friday at 9 o'clock with estimated finish at 10:30. I'm going to review and put in some additional notes. The estimated total is 300. And I can just hit confirm booking and I'm done. This was done only by uploading the A365 Open API specification for service appointment booking. And this is not a booking request. We are calculating the availability in the workshop, actually down to mechanics, to see if we can carry out this work or not. So that was it for me today. Thank you.
Is my screen visible? All right. So thank you, Christine. Let's move on to QA. A reminder that, if you want to submit a question, you can do that by clicking on the Q&A panel on the top of your screen. So I think we have a question here for you, John. What is the security and governance model for AI agents with Microsoft?
It's a great point to start because I know one of the topics that comes up with many of our customers is in this era of AI-powered transformation, what are the ways that we can understand what AI systems are doing if we build business processes or drive decisions? How do we know that they're secure and that they're reliable? So let me just kind of pull out two themes. So one is that as we built our responsible AI stack, we've focused on security and reliability and responsibility as core design tenets. So you control your data, the AI capabilities are observable, you have the opportunity to understand what the solutions are doing, and you have a way of auditing and understanding how you got to particular outcomes. And you can build that through kind of all the phases of a project lifecycle. The other theme I would pull, maybe to focus on as a follow-up topic for the audience, is around Agent 365. So we've created what we would call a control plane for agents. So if you think about what an agent does, and because of the autonomy involved, it actually shares some aspects of the same security protocol and requirements that you'd have for an employee in the enterprise. Secure access to the data, rights management, auditability, et cetera. And so we've created Agent 365 as a way of creating kind of control systems around agents that you build, agents that you buy, agents that you may obtain through third parties. And so I think those two kind of the core tenets of responsible AI and observability, and then sort of the technical implementation paths of those, including Agent 365, are really the foundations of our approach.
Great. We have another question from Bilal that says that, for after sales, can the AI agent automatically send service due alerts to both customers and internal business users? I think that's pretty much related to Christine. Christine, if you can.
Yeah, well, we actually, for that particular scenario, we don't necessarily need AI, but agents can definitely solve that. So I think that the key takeaway from my perspective today is that there is a platform available from Microsoft called Dynamics, and there is a solution built on that platform from Annata that is already AI enabled. And like I said, sky is the limit.
All right. Another question. We have seen, AI, three AI agents, but none of them were inside your product, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, so the agents that were shown were either embedded in Outlook or in a chat, and I think that is where the world will take us. It will take us outside of traditional forms over data applications. So it is a new era, but for the human to be in the loop, we need to do something differently than having people stuck in transactional systems.
Yeah, to build on your point, Kristen, I completely agree. One of the trends that we've seen are that you have, and you guys have got some great examples of it with A365. You've got the opportunity in this era of AI and new user experiences to bring different streamlined experiences to end users right in the context of where they're working, whether it's in Teams or Outlook, or it's in some sort of wearable that's happening out in the field or in a repair center. And so that user experience flexibility is really one of the fundamental powers of the kinds of transformation that the three of our companies are working on together.
All right, we have another one. Good session so far, and the answer is automated. So question is apparently beyond the four scenarios shared today, what are some of the other use cases where AI agents can add value across dealership operations or customer experience?
Kristen, you
Yeah,
want to take that one?
Yeah, I can take that one. Yeah. So, well, there are so many use cases. I mean, we have seen people in finance and controlling using agents to have every single morning at 8 o'clock slide decks updated with customers and collections that are at risk. We have seen almost every area, and I think what is happening is that we need to find a way, Annata and Confiz and you guys, to actually just make sure that our end users are just grasping the fact that some of the stuff that they have been doing manually for quite some time now, 10 years or 20 years, does not have to be done at all anymore. People can just then focus on the relationship with the customer and not the boring internal stuff.
All right, all right. Another one is how real-time, is the data synchronized across Microsoft D365 and A365, and how quickly these updates are being reflected across the entire platform?
They are real time. They are real time. So this is not an example of something that is going to happen 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later or 20 minutes later. Everything is done in real time. A365 is not built next to Dynamics and then integrated to Dynamics. It is built in Dynamics, which is a huge advantage.
All right, and we have another question that is, dealerships often deal with legacy data formats. How do AI agents handle data governance when pulling information from older, non-standardized databases?
John, this is your time to present the lake.
Yeah, I think, if I were to summarize the work that we've been doing now for years, not only in data conversion, but bringing together data in a variety of different forms, Part of the power of Fabric as part of the transformation of an enterprise is that AI needs to have a close relationship to data. In order to have data, you have to solve this data integration and multi-format problem. So our significant investment in Fabric is a key element of that. But then I also look at the systems integrations, the other data transformation, as well as the ontologies and the data models that we built together. We've got past practices of not only integrating these systems in real time together, but being able to bring this data together and contextualize it. So it kind of begins with Fabric and systems integration, but really runs through the investments that we've been making together in retail systems.
And I think we have another one that says that, with AI being still a new technology, I think it is. I mean, a lot of people are not getting any kind of, outputs. So don't you think we should wait a bit before implementing kind of a completely automated AI solution and let the technology mature in a couple of years before integration?
Oh, let me take a quick run at that, Kristen, and then maybe back over to you. So a couple things. So there certainly is a lot of news over the last 12 months around projects that don't work or projects that are not as successful as they were scoped. If I thought about the underlying factors for those, it's like any other technology project. If the requirements are right, you've got the change management, governance, implementation approach correct, and the right design of the technologies, those same basics are required for AI projects. It's no different. And so, we've got many, many, many examples of successful AI applications in the individual use cases all through enterprise scale. And so there are a lot of successful cases. So that's kind of point one. Done well and managed well can be very successful. The second, probably most important part is that culture and governance and getting your organization ready for AI is more important really than the technologies at a certain level. And so waiting to implement AI solutions in some respects is sort of waiting to change the culture and the process and getting your company to understand at all levels how AI can transform the business. And I think that's a huge competitive risk in not undertaking. Again, as we talked about earlier, you can run these projects in weeks and months. You can create a long-term vision, but accrue that value in individual milestones that are really short-term and improve value. But everything that customers are sharing with us is that move sooner rather than later and do it in a practical way. Kristen, anything you'd add?
No, I think we see the same trend that because the trust is already in the platform and the trust is in the data, it is relatively easy to find some very low-hanging fruits. It doesn't have to be a completely automated system, but it's definitely relatively easy for the traditional dealership to find a place for agents and co-pilots.
We have another one which says that, can the AI agent autonomously send codes to customers and follow up, track the code status, as well as, generate an alert when a code has failed or not received?
Yes, this actually is an example of something that is quite easy to achieve. The only thing that you would like to maybe consider is to how you would like to have human in the loop. But essentially, this is a very, very valid use case.
Yeah,
John.
I'd add we're seeing globally many cases of this begin to surface where, if I were to go back 10 years, the idea of having augmented lead management from maybe a manufacturer website to a dealer as an inbound lead was sort of state of the art. What we're starting to see now with Annata and our customers is an interest in thinking about this agentic experience, really powering more of the sales cycle. So it's not about just getting the lead from the website, but how can you interact with the customer to take them through as much of the sales process as you want to automate. And it doesn't have to be all customers the same way. This could be targeted at, smaller customers, different products, but that's I think where the innovation is going to happen and the opportunity to create operational efficiencies, as well as new customer experiences that can really kind of showcase how businesses can be run in this era of AI.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for sending the questions. there is, since I'll be, sending this deck to you to have a look at it, the information material, you can find it on the YouTube channel, where, there are complete insights around, the value-driven demos and use cases of Annata and how AI agents and co-pilots, the demos and different use cases that you will be able to see in order to, facilitate yourself. So that's pretty much all. Thank you. I would really want to, thank you, John, for joining us today. Pleasure having you on this platform, and for the audience who joined the webinar. We will be sending a short survey to you guys in the chat. Feel free to, share your feedback, as it helps us, tailor our future sessions. And this is where we'll probably be calling this session off. Thank you so much once again for everybody joining the webinar, and thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.